Hey guys, it's Dylan. I hope your week is off to a good start. So with this channel going forward, I think I'm going to do a daily news segment in the crypto space. And at the end, I will work in education pieces on different topics. So let me know below what you guys would like to learn more about. I will make a list and then work them in each day with these daily videos. And of course, that's always subject to change, but this feels like it will be good for the next few weeks. So let me know what you think below. Getting right into it, Mike Novogratz, the CEO of Galaxy Digital, shared some really important insights that I need to share with everybody. He said institutional money coming into crypto, specifically Bitcoin, is wildly important. Let me give you some numbers. The total crypto market cap, that's Bitcoin and everything else, is about $1.5 trillion. That's 30 basis points or 0.3% of the total global wealth, 30 basis points, which is really nothing. For that to shift to 2 to 3%, which he's fundamentally sure and of the belief that it will, you need institutions. They own all of the money. This is crucially true, and this is why I think Bitcoin is going to trade sideways for at least the next few weeks until some of these headlines like the energy problems and the China situation subside a little bit, and there is some sort of catalyst that gives these bigger institutions a reason to buy in. I know behind the scenes many people are learning and studying, but in my personal opinion, there needs to be some sort of positive news catalyst that forces these people's hands, gets them into the market, because this is really a great buying opportunity. So I'm thinking that they're waiting for something to change, whether it's more certainty from a regulatory standpoint or from a mining ESG standpoint. Nobody knows, but I think sometime toward the back half of this year, we definitely have some room in the bull run left to go. And one of the main catalysts that Novogratz sees is the SEC finally approving a Bitcoin ETF. Right now, there are 10 applications that are pending approval. Galaxy Digital is one of them. He also said the big wealth in America is 50 to 80-year-olds, mostly very true. They typically work through registered investment advisors, and they're slower to buy in. This right here is so important. Think about all of the trillions of dollars that are currently sitting in IRAs, Roths, 401ks with basically zero access to anything in the crypto space. Once these ETFs become approved, this will be like a new funnel and a new proxy for trillions of dollars to eventually flow into the crypto market. So this is also, in my opinion, a major catalyst that we are all waiting for. But you have to remember, it's ultimately the clients, these 50 to 80-year-olds, that will make the final decision if their funds are shifted into any crypto asset. And generally speaking, these people are getting their news from CNN, CNBC, the newspaper. I don't even know if the newspaper talks about crypto these days, but they're going to need some convincing and cajoling from the advisors or from somebody. All I'm getting at, it's going to take a while, so we need to be patient. So this is really cool. El Salvador keeps the ball rolling and offers no capital gains tax, which is beautiful. That could save people 15 to 20% annually on whatever gains they may have in crypto. And they also highlighted the possibility of offering permanent residence to crypto entrepreneurs wanting to move to the Latin American country. And El Salvador could offer immediate residence to crypto entrepreneurs interested in coming to and investing in the country. And Bukele, the president, controls more than 70% of the legislative assembly, so any law project supported by him is likely to be fast-tracked. Now, in the grand scheme of things, this El Salvador news obviously has not moved the markets, and it's probably not going to. It's a relatively small country with about 6.5 million residents, but the crux of the matter here is the case study. We need to see this work. We need to see businesses being built, and we need to see citizens of the place benefiting and flourishing from Bitcoin adoption, having more access to banking, more access to credit, lending, borrowing, all of these things that we all take for granted. So we'll see how this plays out in the coming months. I'm sharing this news because many of you probably still don't know these sites even exist. I don't condone gambling, but I mean, hey, this person just won $180,000 on a essential online slot with Bitcoin as the prize. They picked the newest release from one of the top gaming providers, Wazdan, and ended up winning $180,000 in Bitcoin over multiple rounds with bets of just a few $100s. But sadly, I apparently am not able to go to this website. It's games.bitcoin.com. let me know if you guys are eligible. Now, this one was 2 days ago, but in case you missed it, this is also very important in the long term. Square's investing $5 million to build a solar-powered Bitcoin mining facility. But this is important because it will be a proof of concept, proving that this stuff is possible and good and economical, all of the above, for a 100% renewable energy Bitcoin mine at scale, and it will be built at the Blockstream site in the US. We hope to show that a renewable mining facility in the real world is not only possible, but also prove empirically that Bitcoin accelerates the world toward a sustainable future, the exact sentiment that ARK Invest has been shouting very loudly. Square is going to create a public-facing dashboard to serve as a transparent case study. That is so important. The public needs to see real-world data of people shifting to renewable energy and actually using it, not just filling out a survey saying that some portion of their energy mining mix uses renewable, but having real, tangible, hard data. Because once the concept is proven, then that green lights anybody else on the planet to follow a similar path as long as it's economical. So if you remember when the gas grid, whatever you want to call it, was shut down from hackers, well, the government, the Justice Department, actually recovered about 60 Bitcoin from the hackers. And once again, this is actually great news, and I'll tell you why in a second. The Justice Department recovered about $2.3 million in crypto ransom that was paid by the Colonial Pipeline, and it was once again the hackers who launched the most disruptive US cyber attack on record, the one that led to massive shortages at US East Coast gas stations. Sadly, they didn't say. It was unclear how the FBI gained access to the key. I don't know if they threatened them or what. That would be my guess, but I wish we learned more about that. But this is important because one of the things about blockchain is that you can't reverse transactions. So of course, that's good for a lot of reasons, but it also does come with some negatives. And once again, some of these bigger institutions are going to need to understand that if something is hacked or if something goes wrong, that the government is able to do some good. In this case, yes, they actually did good. They got the Bitcoin back from the hackers. What are they going to do with it? That is my main question. I have no idea, and the article hasn't said. I couldn't find anything. Now, I know plenty of people would argue that this is bad because the government basically got the private keys somehow, but that's a conversation for another video when it comes to privacy and the best ways to actually keep your privacy. We'll talk about all that in a future video, so subscribe if you don't want to miss that. And so MicroStrategy is absolutely all the way in on Bitcoin, all the way up. So they're actually borrowing another $400 million to buy more Bitcoin while also writing down the value of its existing holdings. Basically, that's called an impairment loss. So if they buy Bitcoin and the price fluctuates downward, they actually have to write that down because of the impairment loss. And it does actually count as a loss toward their net income, which they've already had to do to the tune of about $250 million. And this is another one. So far they have about $500 million in impairment losses. Of course, they haven't sold any, and it's a weird accounting rule, but that's just how it works. And here we go. It turns out it was a $284 million impairment charge, which that alone was more than its cumulative earnings since 2011, a decade. So at this point, honestly, MicroStrategy has really become like a Bitcoin ETF in and of itself. This company is basically just a proxy for owning Bitcoin. Now, it's a slight exaggeration, but their Bitcoin holdings and the value of that relative to their actual business operations is pretty wild, and we'll see how it plays out. And we got some news from Trump today. Many people are attributing the dip in Bitcoin to this comment from Trump. He said that it was a scam against the dollar and regulators should take action to monitor it. He emphasized that the currency of this world should be the dollar. And right here he said, Bitcoin, it just seems like a scam. I don't like it because it's another currency competing against the dollar. That quote right there tells you all you need to know. It seems like a scam. Donald Trump, in my humble opinion, probably has zero idea about blockchain, cryptography, anything of the sort. You wouldn't make the comment, it seems like, because that basically just tells people you really have no idea what you're talking about. And just in case you're not familiar, I literally have zero political leaning. I don't do politics. I don't get into it. I'm just saying this as if Trump was another person. But of course, he carries more weight because he was indeed the president of the United States. So it is what it is, and I'm with you. I long for the day when these people in high places, when they can make these statements and it doesn't have as much of an impact on the price of Bitcoin. Of course, it's just as good on the way up, but recently all of the big people have been sending it down. But tomorrow, the Education Wheel piece will be about the Strike app, how it works, what Jack Mallers and his team are doing. It's actually incredible. Like, wildly incredible, and this kid is only 24 years old, so it's definitely worth learning. Please like this video if it was helpful to you in any way. I hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you in the next one.